When people think of what flows through their blood, they usually imagine the big-name celebrities: oxygen, glucose, red blood cells, and, of course, cholesterol, that ever-controversial molecule forever caught between dietary villain and essential building block. But your bloodstream is far more than a lipid conveyor belt or a sugar roller coaster. It's a chemical superhighway buzzing with molecules you've probably never heard of, each one quietly pulling strings behind your metabolism, mood, immunity, and the ever-slow tick of biological aging. Let's start with kisspeptin, which sounds like a flirtatious hormone from a romance novel but is actually a key regulator of puberty, fertility, and reproductive aging. This peptide hormone, produced in the hypothalamus and detectable in the blood, triggers the release of gonadotropin-releasing hormone, GnRH, setting off the cascade of sex hormones. But what's less known is that kisspeptin also modulates mood and behavior. It has been linked to anxiety, emotional processing, and even bonding. So yes, something in your blood might literally make you more romantic or more irritable, depending on the day. Then there's beta-endorphin, your body's own morphine. This neuropeptide circulates in the blood following exercise, laughter, deep breathing, or acts of kindness. It's part of the reason why a good jog or a belly laugh can feel euphoric. But beta-endorphin isn't just a feel-good molecule. It helps regulate pain, immune tolerance, and even wound healing. In a sense, your blood is dosing you with microopiates, legally and regularly. Move over serotonin. Kynurenine is here. This lesser-known metabolite, derived from the breakdown of tryptophan, is increasingly seen as a molecular crossroads between mood, immunity, and neurodegeneration. Elevated kynurenine in the blood has been associated with depression, cognitive decline, and even reduced physical resilience in aging. On the flip side, modulating this pathway, either by blocking kynurenine synthesis or diverting it toward neuroprotective branches, has been proposed as a novel anti-aging and antidepressant strategy. Your mental health might have less to do with neurotransmitters and more with your immune metabolic feedback loops than we ever suspected. From the microbial world, let's spotlight phenylacetylglutamine, PAGLN, a metabolite produced when gut bacteria metabolize phenylalanine and then pass the baton to the liver for detox. PAGLN travels in the blood and binds to adrenergic receptors in the heart and blood vessels, essentially influencing cardiovascular tone. Too much of it has been linked to increased clotting and cardiac risk, which sounds ominous. But the discovery is useful. It shows that your microbes don't just affect digestion. They're releasing molecular messages that act directly on your organs. Another surprising traveler in the bloodstream is fibroblast growth factor 21, FGF21, a hormone secreted by the liver in response to fasting, protein restriction, or cold exposure. Think of FGF21 as your body's metabolic switchboard operator. It promotes fat oxidation, improves insulin sensitivity, and helps regulate energy expenditure. Blood levels of FGF21 go up when the body is under mild metabolic stress, say, during intermittent fasting or endurance training, and its presence seems to align with improved longevity markers. In essence, this hormone whispers to your tissues, stay lean, stay sharp, conserve wisely. We're in survival mode. For those curious about immune aging, consider galectin-3. This multifunctional protein is involved in cell adhesion, fibrosis, and immune regulation. While helpful in wound healing and infection control, chronically elevated galectin-3 is associated with tissue stiffening, heart failure, and biological aging. But it's also become a biomarker for longevity research and may even be targetable with dietary compounds like modified citrus pectin. If cholesterol has long been the molecule of cardiovascular fear, galectin-3 is its up-and-coming rival in the inflammation space. Speaking of rivals, meet advanced glycation end products, AGEs, which are formed when sugars bind to proteins or fats in the bloodstream, creating sticky, misshapen molecules that accelerate aging. AGEs circulate in blood and deposit in tissues, hardening arteries, stiffening collagen, and fueling chronic inflammation. You can get AGEs from cooked foods, especially those browned or charred, but your body also produces them internally when blood sugar runs too high. They're like the glitter of the molecular world, hard to clean up and never where you want them. And yes, we can't talk about anti-aging molecules without mentioning alpha-klotho, a hormone produced in the kidneys that circulates in the blood and has been dubbed the longevity protein. It regulates phosphate metabolism, protects against oxidative stress, and enhances cognitive function. People with higher clotho levels tend to age more slowly, retain sharper minds, and resist metabolic disease. The fact that it's floating quietly in the plasma right now, doing damage control at a molecular level, is nothing short of miraculous, and perhaps the reason scientists are exploring ways to boost it pharmacologically. Let's not forget the dozens of small peptides and nucleic acids in circulation, especially exosomal microRNAs, tiny gene-regulating messengers encased in lipid bubbles. These molecules shuttle information between cells and may be involved in everything from cancer suppression to skin regeneration. Blood, it turns out, is not just a transporter of chemicals, but a living conversation between your organs. So the next time someone says your blood test came back normal, remember that it only measured a sliver of the molecular drama happening beneath the surface. Beyond cholesterol and glucose, your blood is a chemical narrative of your aging, your mood, your microbial partnerships, and your resilience. It's not just what's in your blood, but how it's all talking to each other, and whether the conversation is helping you thrive or quietly speeding up your biological clock.